What's up, guys? Kunal here. Bulls on Wall Street. Holy hot market once again. The stock market is on fire. Even though the indexes did not move today, everything was on fire. Let's dig in to the market indexes, the QQQ, the SPY, and then our favorite stocks to trade for tomorrow and the coming week. You can see here we had a little bit of a rest day in the QQQs. I think some of this was due to the semiconductors all just pissing their pants throughout the day, and so you had like a little dump off in Nvidia, AVGO, some of these type of names. So that put some pressure on the QQQs, but even then the QQQ held up really, really well. But as we've been talking about nonstop, the indexes do not matter right now. We are in full-blown market breakout territory where everything is going. It's a risk-on market. So even though the QQQs is just hanging here, the big story is, of course, risk assets, right? Your IWM is cooking and booking, people. Dude, it is up 30 damn points, right, in the last handful of days. Up 1.5% today, and you felt it in the price action. Bitcoin broke out. Individual Bitcoin stocks broke out. Look at the move on Bitcoin, 13% on IBIT. Guys, you can't have a better breakout than that, right? I mean, you can't have a better breakout than that. So this is, and Bitcoin's a low float stock, right? You have, 20 million Bitcoins out there. So even though it's sitting there touching about almost 90,000, how far it can go, nobody knows. Does it need a rest? 100%. Ideally, a rest will come. But when you have such a low float and the FOMO kicks in, you don't know where it can go. Obviously, the natural mental target would be 100,000, but who knows, right? These things can go a lot farther than you think. Never be surprised by what can happen. So risk-on assets, off the wall, right? IWM, the Bitcoin, crypto stocks. I mean, dude, the Turdzilla of stocks, Mara, is even going, right? The Hut Nation, right? 25%. So risk on across the board. The FOMO is real. I mean, you just have to respect it and trade it. And just remember not to get too carried away and chase, because at some point you'll have a nasty rug in some of these extended names, and then the money will flow over into other names. It doesn't mean that the market is going to crash or pull back too heavy or anything like that. But what it does mean is that, if these sell off, for example, then the money will flow into something else. When the market is breaking out the highs like this, it's just a game of hot potato. Money flows out of one thing and then it goes into the other. Then it flows out of that and goes into the other. And the market can keep climbing. It's just you playing hot potato with the type of stocks that are starting to go, because everything looks hot. I mean, everything. Food processing companies look hot. Chicken stock companies look hot. I mean, everything looks hot. So that's just the way it goes. At some point, we'll get what's called a shakeout candle. It'll test the resolve of the bulls, suck in some shorts, and then usually they rip it back, right? So we'll wait for one of those. If you're a swing trader and you're like maybe feeling like you're underexposed, you'll get one of those, and then you got to kind of close your eyes and do the stranger on it. Let's take a look at the watch list. There's a couple names we've been talking about nonstop. HIMS I've been putting on the watch list forever. Finally, we had an IPO breakout today, up 19%. I think this is still day tradable. To me, this is a swing trade, first of all. When you have an IPO breakout like this, you want to keep some, as long as it holds IPO highs. But I think you can keep day trading this. It's got a fantastic look to it. Any kind of weakness on this tomorrow, I think we want to be buyers. If you see here, UPST down 5% today. It had a nasty little pullback at $10 at one point. Let's see if we retest this 70 spot. I'm really interested in this. One nasty little blip at the open tomorrow, $3, $4, $5. Maybe the selling comes in. If it can come back and retest the 70, man, I think we got ourselves a really, really nice spot on this one. And, along with UPST, a firm finally busted out 23% today. I mean, that was huge. You can see you got all sorts of goodies out here. You got some upgrades and stuff like that. But dude, look at the breakout on this one. 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, 4 tests. Finally breaking out. You got your 9 EMA under. It looks like a longer-term hold if it can pull back and maybe retest this breakout or build some type of flag. You can't ignore this type of trade, man. They can have so much farther legs than you think. This used to be $200. It's still a pretty low market cap, $15 billion. It's in that mid-caps, medium market. Any weakness on this one, we got to be buyers. It had 31 million shares. I'm assuming there was some news out today. I didn't see it, but I mean, hot damn. 2 beers in a bucket on this thing. I mean, you ORB'd, then took out a flag, and you just trended up all day. That's what you want to see. That's what you get in bull markets that you don't get in other names, right? We'll see names, right, that just, they look extended, and then they just kind of keep drifting higher and higher and higher, like MSTR or Coin. My guess is if Coin gaps up tomorrow, it's a short. They're going counter trend and doing these rubber band shorts is really hard, but you're about $70, $80 away from the 9 EMA. If it gaps up, let's just say 340, 350, I think you maybe have a magnet up to here. Then I think you can try to, it's not going to just break out these, IPO highs easily. Then I think you try it. If it has a weak open tomorrow, it might even get bought up. So just let it blow off, but it's doubled now. It's doubled. This is not some small cap company, right? It's a $70 billion company. Having a double, it's a long way. Let's see. If it gaps up, I'm interested in a potential short. If it does not, I will leave it alone. This is not a market for short sellers. They get run over. You got to trade it really small if you see a short and let the range play out. The setup is there, but it gives me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies, right? And it gives you a little bit of heebie-jeebies. It's like, right, a little bit of that herp-a-derp after Mexico, right? You just like, you're on that plane and you're like, ooh, yeah, I got the heebie-jeebies or the little gonorrheas. Not me personally, but, I see people on the plane every time I go to Mexico doing that. Now, you can see here you got 292. This is a swing trade if it breaks out. It reminds me a little bit about like Pan W, kind of similar setup. If it takes out this, I would say 295. That's a swing trade to me. Stop under the 9 EMA, and you got yourself a nice little setup. SQ, similar to Affirm, where first of all the earnings are out of the way, and you have this huge range break just in the works here, and it's test like it's there. And this used to be $300 something, $300. This one in PayPal were really beaten down. And you're starting to come out of this, and you're coming out of a little bit of a flag pattern right now, up 11%. Like this is the type of name you want to be in, right? You want to see this kind of big, we've been pounding on this kind of setup for a long time, but you want to see that big kind of Nike swoosh that comes out of this, right? That's where you're going to really see the heat. Not buying Nvidia at $200 at a $4 trillion market cap, but finding something that's a little bit more beaten down, I think is going to be a nice help. This Lactation Nation, this is a lithium company. I'm surprised with Tesla going. It hasn't picked up any steam, but you got a level here. I think this could go tomorrow. You had a little pop in volume today, up 8%. Got a good look to it. SC, you know what? You got a $100 roll here setting up. You finally remounted some MAs. Dude, don't be surprised to see this thing go. It had decent enough range today. It's holding up pretty well. And this is another one, right? If you look left, you got a multi-year breakout in the works. Dude, this thing kicks over 100. Like, it's got a chance to go do something. Snow, out of all the tech stocks, and AI kind of names, this one's the worst trader. But it is starting to gear up for it. I don't know if I'll take this one personally. It just trades. It's got that thing, right? It's like you got something stuck in your teeth, right? Like every time you trade snow, you're kind of like, right? Geez, you can't put your finger on it, but it's there, and you just clawing at it because right, that you're going to have to brush your teeth at some point. It pisses you off, but that's snow. It's got something here. Probably a little bit better swing trader than day trader. It trades a little thin. You know, back in the day, you know, stock did 3 million shares volume. You're like, damn, that's got a lot of volume. And now it's like, you know, these stocks are doing, dude, MSTR did 50 million shares today. You know, DJT did 50 million shares today. Palantir did 100 million shares today. Like, you know, this thing is trades so damn thin now. NLCH, I think you got a flag pattern on here. You got a nice level. Also a big multi-year kind of breakout here in the works. And it's a trender. This is an earnings beat here. I think it's got a good look to it. Guys, and there's a lot of other stocks out there that look just fantastic. Look, my damn watch list is like 100 names long. But what I'm trying to do is maybe kind of get you guys into, you know, looking at some names that are maybe not as extended, right? Like, you know, everybody's going to want to try to, you know, boof it on MSTR and stuff like that. And there's a time and place for that, but I think now you're kind of getting, if in this market, if you're trying to hit something on day 5, day 6, day 7 of a move, yes, you may miss that last kind of parabolic move, but, you know, it'll save you from the rug. You know, same thing, Tesla looks like a rubber band short too, but man, it's really hard. It's a hard market for short sellers. Unless this has just a big gap up, and, you know, you get this thing, you know, let this thing really like an exhaustion gap. Like I thought today was an exhaustion gap, but it didn't really give a good signal. We tried a couple times around here under the VWAP. I got a couple points. I got stopped out flat a couple times. That's the way these kind of setups work. It's like more, you got to kind of keep hacking at it, trading small till, you know, the trend starts to set, and then you'll have 3-4 days where you can just like bam, bam, hammer, 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 hammer. So let me know if you guys have any questions. This is, you know, a lot of euphoria right now. Don't get caught up in the weeds on it. This bull market probably lasts a while, and we're going to have many, many opportunities to shred like men of honor. I love you guys. Peace.